What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and I'm very excited to be talking about the new Dragon Ball Z movie, Resurrection F, which I just saw in theaters yesterday. Now, if you guys are going to watch this review, it will be a standard review that I do. It'll talk about a little summary of the movie and spoilers and all that stuff, so if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you're going to love it. If you're an action anime fan, you're going to love it. It's just really, really good. So, yeah, it's a short review, but to actually get in a little bit deeper, here's a summary. Okay, so the brief summary of the movie is, Frieza's army is in disarray because they have no one to lead them, and they haven't had anybody to lead them. Well, there's this one little blue guy, but I mean, he can't really do that great of a job since he's not that powerful. So, they go to bring Frieza back, they go to Earth, they use the Dragon Balls with the help of Emperor Pilaf. Frieza's back, and he wants revenge against Goku, but he hears how strong Goku's become, beating like Majin Buu and shit. So he decides to dedicate to training, which he's never had to do in his life, so that he can get revenge on Goku. He ends up coming back about 4 months, or I think like 6 months later, or something like that. Maybe it was 4 months. He trained for 4 months. I'm not sure how all that works. I think they mentioned 6 months at one point. But anyways, I digress. He shows up, and Goku's not there because he's training. Him and Vegeta are training with Whis over on Beerus's home upside-down pyramid tree thing. It's a very cool design. We saw it in Battle of Gods as well. So they're training there, so the Z Fighters have to hold off Frieza's army in a very, very cool action scene where we get to see everybody, except for like Yamcha and Chaozu, put in some good work and actually fight off these Frieza's men. So, yeah, then Goku shows up, Vegeta shows up, and we get Goku versus Frieza and a little bit of Vegeta versus Frieza. And that's literally, as far as a brief summary goes, the entire movie. It's very, 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 very simple. Much simpler than Battle of Gods. But I think that works to its favor. Because one of the complaints people had about Battle of Gods, it wasn't one of my complaints, but people said Battle of Gods had a lot of comedy and a lot of sitting around, and there wasn't a lot of action until the ending. And like Goku versus Beerus on King Kai's planet. And yeah, it had a little bit of a lack of action. I mean, Dragon Ball's not all about action, but I think this movie kind of captured the more action-heavy side of the story while still mixing in the comedy very, very well. And that's one thing this movie has going for it, is that the comedy is on point. Almost every joke had, at least the theater I was in, almost every joke had everyone in the audience laughing. It was a very, very funny movie. But those are just some of the things I like. To get a little bit more analytical on this video, I suppose I'll talk about the animation, story progression, and all the technical aspects. The audio was great, the music was good, the voice acting was fantastic, the English dub cast has been doing this for so long, and while they did start off not so good, they've really come into their own since doing the video games and Dragon Ball Z Kai and everything and Battle of Gods, so the voice acting is top-notch. Then we have the animation. It's very, very good. A little bit too much CGI use for me, but it blended with the 2D very well in a lot of spots, so while I would have liked a touch less CGI, it was still very good, and it wasn't distractingly bad CGI. It actually flowed really well, and the punches still had impact. So, animation was very, very good, and like I said, the audio was very, very good. So, the pacing. As I said, it's a very, very simple movie. Frieza comes back, he trains, you don't see the training, he shows up, and it's pretty much all action from there. So the pace of the movie never really slows down or, gets sitting in any one situation for too long. I guess I could say that maybe the Z Fighters versus Frieza's army went on for a while, but I don't really care because it was awesome to see them get on the action, because we haven't seen Tien do anything really special in a long-ass time. We haven't seen Krillin do anything awesome in a long-ass time, so it's just very, very cool to see them go in and do their thing. One other thing I'll say about the technicals is that there isn't a ton of story progression for the overall story of the series because, yeah, Goku's training and he's learning and everything, but that's like more of a character development side of the movie. The actual story progression, there really isn't much. We don't get the whole crazy 12 dimensions thing that Beerus mentioned at the end of Battle of Gods, so I guess the story progression is a weakness, but I guess we'll probably get more of that when this gets turned into Dragon Ball Super, the weekly anime that's going on right now. Let's see, what else is there? I guess I'll just talk about the character development. It's actually pretty strong here. We get Goku, who is still getting cocky in his fights. He's still a little bit too relaxed. We got Vegeta, who's always too tense. I liked seeing Beerus tell them, you start to relax more, you relax too much. It's cool to see them train, it's cool to see them grow, because when you see how overpowered these characters are, I mean, where do you really take them? And now they kind of have to work on their base. They have to work on who they are as people to a certain extent to get even stronger than they are, which I think is very, very good writing on Akira Toriyama's part. And Goku has to learn that he needs to kill some of these enemies, like just flat out kill them. He didn't kill Frieza the first time. He didn't kill Cell. He let Gohan do it. He killed Majin Buu, but other than that, Goku has a habit of letting them live to fight later. And that's just, it's his Saiyan pride. That's kind of how he is, but it is something he needs to work on and not be so relaxed and cocky during fights. However, he was still very cool when he was getting cocky with Frieza. That whole, I don't need to go Super Saiyan just yet, that was badass, but yeah, it's just, like I said, it's very cool to see them expand on Goku's character, and he does end up fucking up. I mean, Frieza does blow up the planet, and because of Whis, everything gets reversed. But if Whis had not been there, Goku getting too cocky with Frieza would have fucked everything over. So, yeah, good shit developing Goku's character and having him learn a lesson there. Frieza's character's development, that I thought was a big surprise. He mostly acts the same, but just hearing him say things like, you know, when you see a Super Saiyan face to face, it's such a insane feeling, and he's not leaving anything to chance anymore. He goes straight to his final form, and he's like, I dedicated to training so I could beat you, Goku. It's just, it's cool to see Frieza grow a little bit. He's still overconfident. He's still Frieza, but he has changed a bit. He has, I don't want to say gotten more patient, but to a certain extent, I would say he got more patient, because after he gets the robot parts in the actual manga, he immediately goes back to fight Goku. In this case, he's like, okay, you know what, no, I'm not strong enough, I'm going to train. That, I think, is good character development on Frieza's part. And that's really all the major character development here. Whis and Beerus are mainly the same as they used to be. All the other characters are mainly the same as they used to be. So, yeah, but still, the main villain getting character development like that, awesome. The main character getting character development, that's awesome. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about the character development and the technicals. So all that stuff's fantastic. The rest of the movie is just cool shit. Seeing the Z-Fighters, you know, go in on Frieza's army, it's awesome. Gohan with all those pressure point shots. Even Jocko was pretty cool, even though he's kind of weak. And he's also another cool aspect, because we know there's like that Jocko the Patrolman comic that Akira Toriyama wrote. It's like a Dragon Ball prequel. It's cool seeing him interact with Dr. Briefs and Bulma, and making references to the intergalactic police and everything. It's just cool. It expands the universe of Dragon Ball even further, which I'm thinking we might see more of him in the Resurrection of Frieza arc that will be in Dragon Ball Super, and we may see more of him in the arc that they're going to be doing after that. So, very, very cool to see it getting expanded, the whole universe of Dragon Ball, because it usually does focus on, like, Earth, and if they go extraterrestrial, it's just Namek. So it's very cool to see the whole universe being taken into account here. I pretty much tried to avoid spoilers for this movie as much as I could. So, I mean, of course I knew about blue-haired Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, but I was able to avoid, you know, spoilers on if Vegeta's thing got spoiled, and I knew about Golden Frieza and everything, but Vegeta turning into a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, that was awesome. He just wrecks Frieza, and it's very, very cool. I liked Goku. Also, a nice little Bruce Lee reference when Goku does, like, the hand, he does, like, the 1-inch punch, or I believe that's what it's called, what Bruce Lee does. That was pretty badass. And once again, from a technical aspect for the fighting, it felt very Akira Toriyama when they're telling Frieza, you know, okay, you just unlocked this form, bad idea to fight in it. You haven't mastered it, you don't know how long you can sustain it, it's too much power. He basically made a similar mistake to when he went 100% full power on Goku. So, you know, Frieza will be Frieza. He's always going to, you know, make those kind of mistakes. And he is very underhanded. Even though he wanted revenge on Goku in a fair fight, he does have a little fucking blue guy with, like, the weird koala-looking nose. He fires at Goku from a distance. And it's just, it's cool to see Goku get tortured for his mistakes, because he has to learn. And Frieza, he's a nice opposite to Goku in a lot of ways. But I don't know, I mean, early on in the fight, it's interesting that Goku wasn't taking him as seriously. It makes a lot of sense because of how, not how easy Frieza is to beat, but just because, you know, he was so long ago and they beat so many stronger people. And that's another thing I like. Frieza, though he does get very strong when he transforms into his golden mode, his final form, while a lot stronger, isn't unbelievably stronger. You know, for 4 months training, there's only so much you can do. I'm glad Frieza wasn't keeping up with Goku, and Goku needed to like go Super Saiyan 3 just to fight his normal final form. That I'm glad Akira Toriyama kept to a realistic level on how much stronger he could get within that span of time. But other than that, there's really not much else to say. I could really just go on talking about the little touches and everything, but nah, it's just really, really, really good. It's well-paced, as I said before, just to recap. It's well-paced, it's well-animated, it's got great audio, great dubbing. It does good things for Goku and Frieza's character. It does a few things for the universe overall with Jocko and everything. And it's just got fun references and little, like, in-jokes for Dragon Ball fans. It's great. I think it's better than Battle of Gods, even though I liked Battle of Gods a lot. And I think it really just improved on everything Battle of Gods had. Instead of focusing on all the comedy in the first half and then action in the second, it blended them very well. Emperor Pilaf was in Battle of Gods a bit too much. He wasn't as funny. They use him less in this, but he is much funnier. Him and his group is a lot better. So yeah, it's just a big improvement over Battle of Gods in a lot of ways. So I'd probably honestly give this movie around a 9.5 out of 10, or even a 10 out of 10. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I'm trying to think of like anything I can really criticize, and there's not a lot, honestly. I guess Baby Goku versus Beerus had some better moments of animation. There wasn't as much CGI use, but that's really just a nitpick. It's just really, really good. I mean, oh, and there's, the lack of story progression and everything, but yeah, I think as a movie, for what it is, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't seen it and you still watched this review because you don't care about spoilers, go see it. Go see it again. Support this movie. It's just absolutely awesome. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think of Resurrection of Frieza in the comments section below. Follow me on Instagram. I post things there sometimes. Give this video a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. And subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. I'm almost to 100 subscribers, so please help me get there. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.